Hi class, I wanted to give you some video feedback. You'll be using this week to make your edits. I might extend that a day for you. I usually have this to you sooner. But let's jump right in. So far, Holly, this is looking really good. And let's make sure everything's working. Okay, good job there. All right. We do want to make sure we have, I think these are all related, so perhaps this will work out fine for that. Okay. Okay. Portfolio. Okay. Let's go ahead and call this portfolio or C work or something, so we know exactly where it's taking us. Make sure that's a free Google Voice. All right. We do need some social icons, if only LinkedIn for your professional account there. So let's look at the mobile. Okay. Typically want to left align that. It's easier for people to read. Everything else is looking great. Probably want to take the bullets off when we're like this. Definitely would be left aligned if you kept the bullets. Might be able to go in and edit some of these so it's not so wordy. All right. People only skim, so they want to be able to see what you do immediately. Okay. All right, great job. Very few edits needed. Nice work. Okay, Bernard, nice and clean. You might want to bring this up to align with this over here. Pretty easy to read. Let's see. Okay, let's bring this image down to align with this. I'd avoid this radial gradient here. It's kind of dated, and I think if you keep it a nice clean background, you're going to like that. Either black, maybe gray would be good too, but then you'd have to make this white. So you might even think about a light gray or even a white. Okay, could be a little sharper focus in here. The lighting could be a little better. It looks like it may be an evening shot, of course, but keep it in mind. Okay.
My name is Julie. Sleeping Lotus.
Okay. Okay. Be careful about saying creating the logo. You did modify it, or you did use this logo and you edited it in Adobe Illustrator. You didn't necessarily create it, so be mindful of that. You can say, I designed the layout for this magazine, and that would be more accurate. All right, let's go ahead and probably center that, left align it. It's kind of floating by itself. You could even bring it up here with equal spacing here, 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 and put it there if you're able to, if it allows you into this column. All right, great job. Let's look at the mobile. Okay, be careful cropping heads. Close that up. Good job clearing your navigation. A little hard to read here. You should take this background photo and reduce the opacity a little so we can make that out. And again, this blue isn't really working. and the radial doesn't work down here, so you want to check that out. Go for a simpler background. There's either text on this or something, but we want to get rid of that. Avoid cropping logos. All right. All right, great job. Yeah, just a few sweeping edits and I think you're going to be in great shape. All right, nice and clean. I'm not sure you need this inside of this, and we can't read what that is, so I'm not sure it is important. Overall, it gives a good view. You might even go for an eye shape to mimic this shape that you've got going on with your arched font. Do update the bottom down here to the correct year. Nice. Let's not have too many styles of font, just stick with these two. And that would be Bodoni and American Typewriter. So this is also, but it's a little harder to read. Helvetica, that's another one. Maybe we move this over and put it here at the top of this. Maybe bring that down a little bit and move this as a heading right here. Okay. We are missing the navigation when we get here. So this navigation needs to be on every page. You may have to go to a horizontal up here so that it's always available and we're not back clicking. Okay, nice. Might go a little larger, and we want to center this. Okay, center this heading. Make sure your headings are in the same font. The other one was in Helvetica. This one is Bodoni, at least that's similar to what you're doing. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? Got to go back, find the contact. All right, good job, and you seem to be linked up. Nice work. This is looking good. All right, you need to work out the layout here. All right. Ovals are difficult as well, and we don't want a line break for that word, so some resizing is required. Okay. All right, so when you make changes, this is for everyone, when you make changes to your desktop, that will affect your mobile, but you can make changes to your mobile without affecting your desktop. All right. All right. Let's see. Khalil. All right. I think we want to either edit this down a little bit, make it a little wider so that these come up a little higher. Let's increase the contrast here and link those up. Make sure that that is a Google Voice free number. Good photo. I would probably center that. I would center this, I think. Although it is aligned, and that's great. Just the right number of pages. Okay, if I select this, will I get a little information? Good. Let's capitalize October. Be careful with content policy. We're not allowed to have weapons. You may have to crop that. All good. Yeah, you could blur it out. And we need to put information here rather than the file name. Okay. Make sure that there's something there. Okay, good. If this is a still, I think we want to crop it a little bit so that we get it into this, your work, rather than this. It's okay though, it's not a big deal. Let's look at the mobile. Okay. So I'm wondering how I can easily okay. All right. Great job. Great job. Very little that needs to be changed on this, really. Nice work. 1. Nice clear logo. You can see exactly what you do. Navigation is clear. Nice. You might be able to widen this a little bit, maybe bring it out a little more so there's a little more padding. You may need an image that has better focus, and you may have to blur or get rid of some of the branding. But there's just a few places like this where it's focused. I think you just need some natural lighting, and your cell phone is really all you need in a simple background. But for now, that will do. And let's use the same font, size, and style. So you have a different font here, Arial, and you have Helvetica 16, and okay, that's actually just the line space that is Arial 10, because this is obviously a larger font. That's 22. All right, so yeah, we want to be consistent with that. This is a good size. Something in between. This isn't bad. All right. Good job, linked up. Nice. All right, let's look at the mobile. We want your, okay, well, you're going to have it here. That's fine. We do need to have, let's close this up a little bit so we see this more. Make sure that's a free Google Voice. These are almost close together, but when you change your desktop, it will straighten out your mobile. Okay. We have lowercase here, uppercase here, so let's be consistent with that. Let's make sure this is centered, okay? All right, great job. Nice work this week. Let's see. Okay, James. Okay, this is all good. Link up to a professional LinkedIn. remove the About Me link, close this up, make sure you have your name and what you do up here. No links to outside work. All right, those need to be placed in here. A post may not be the best way to do that. Okay, I think you want to go up to your Wix plus and maybe add a video. Okay, and then drag that over and put, a video in there. But we need to have more than a link, especially if this is going away. We have a lot of intermediate links, so that's not what we want to do. But you can take this and you can link it into a video page. I'll show you that in a minute. You can also look at the troubleshooting. Okay, so a lot of this needs to come out. You've got placeholder, so I set aside several hours to do this, all right? And update the template down there too. I would just remove the home page. There's nothing there, nothing here. Okay. Let's see. So the mobile's not going to be much different. Definitely have your name and what you do up here. I will show you quickly what the, let's see, where do we have that? If I were to go here, say this is your site, and you're going to edit your site, I would remove the blog page that you have. You have a blog page in here, and I would delete it. You would just go over to the three dots and delete that blog page. And then what I would do, let's say, you probably don't need to do this, but if you need to add a page, you can, go up here, add a page. We did that, and call it Works. And now I can come up here, make sure I'm on the Works page, and I am. Ignore, this business. And then I can come over here to the Add Elements, go to Video and Music, come over here and drag that over. All right. And then what you're going to do is go to Change Video, and you're going to put the YouTube link right here. Okay. And then you're going to add a little bit about that. You'll need some text, so you'll add text, and you'll use just stay in your theme, and you'll just use paragraph text. That color won't work. We need high contrast. Okay, 17, 18 is good. And that's where you'll talk about what you did in that video. And then if you want, you grab both of those, copy them by Command C and then Command V. Let's see. Okay, apparently it wants me to do it one at a time. Copy, paste. Probably needs room. All right, I'm in something that is preventing things from, I'm in an app of some sort that's not letting me duplicate that, but you can copy and paste that for sure. All right, and again, it's something that I'm in right now. It could be because I'm recording it or what have you, not typically though. But that's what you would do. Okay, you would go over here, get that, grab this, drag it over. Okay, all right, let's see, close that up, get back to where we were. And yeah, you're going to need to put some time aside to complete that. All right. Okay. Nice. Make sure that's a Google Voice. The color is great. Make sure you're linked up to your LinkedIn. This will probably have to go darker for sure, so it's more legible. Maybe a little bit more padding there. Okay. You may have to, this week when you do accessibility, it may ask you to increase this. It's a little hard to read. This is easy to read, good font for that. But yeah, it's a little more. Great photo. Link up. Okay. I love that art. Okay. So make sure that you have your video there correctly. Looks like it's broken somehow. Maybe use the method I just showed you if you didn't. Okay. That font that you have, okay, you want to close up some space there. The font that you have on that page is easier to read. I believe we've changed fonts. Okay. Seemed like one of those had a different font, but it could be me. Okay. Try to be careful about wrapping. Sometimes we have to go smaller, in which case everyone's going to have to go smaller, every heading to fit. All right. Stellar job. Great job. Let's go back and check this. I do want to be able to go to another one without having to come back to this project. Whether that means they're all on the same page, or at least a couple. All right, there's the different one. But this font is really easy to read and might be good for one of these. Okay, this does have, if you care, this does have additional line space between, as opposed to this. Okay, great jobs, looking good. All right, everybody, really nice work so far, and I'm going to add another day in case you need it for this, for your revision, all right? But stellar work. Make sure you make a list of all the bulleted edits that you need to make, because you'll be required to post that in your 4.1, in your task 1. And I look forward to seeing these. Nice work.